Today's topics we will cover are situational security awareness, violence prevention, de-escalation, hazard recognition, and reporting. If you see something, say something. Each year, people catch about 1 billion colds, and 3 to 11% of the population gets the flu. According to the CDC, flu season typically runs November through April. Cold weather doesn't cause illness, but spending more time indoors increases exposure and spread. Clean shared surfaces, wash hands often, avoid touching face. Eat well and exercise moderately. Stay hydrated and get enough rest. Avoid sick contacts. Stay home if ill. Germs spread mainly through coughs, sneezes, and contaminated surfaces. So cover cough and sneezes. Use and discard tissues properly and wash hands thoroughly for 15 to 30 seconds to prevent spreading illnesses. The topics we will cover in this section are situational security awareness, violence prevention, de-escalation. Professional operators are familiar with routes and area they travel through every day. The situational awareness places you in an ideal position to quickly identify when something is out of the ordinary, suspicious, or potentially hazardous. Situational awareness guides safe decision making by giving you the information you need to assess, understand, and act. OSHA data shows security risks rise with distraction and missed hazards. Stay focused, keep scanning, and anticipate changing conditions to protect yourself and your passengers. Most security incidences aren't equipment failures. They happen when we misunderstand, or don't react to changing conditions in time. Stay alert and respond early. What are some common things you may see on your routes each day? What are examples of things you might see that could seem out of the ordinary or potentially hazardous? Spot the risk. Which of these is not a security risk? Potential armed threat behavior or actions that suggest a serious security concern. Escalating aggressive behavior, an interaction showing tension that could lead to violence. Unauthorized access tailgating, somebody entering a controlled area without proper permission. Slip or trip hazard, wet flooring, or an uneven walking surface that could cause a fall. Cybersecurity risk, a computer displaying warning alerts or signs of a compromised system. Distraction or inattention, an individual focused elsewhere instead of monitoring their surroundings. Unchallenged, unfamiliar individual, a person present who doesn't belong in the area isn't questioned. Poor housekeeping, objects left in walkways or work areas creating avoidable hazards. Failure to report suspicious activity. Warning signs are observed, but no one takes action or alerts security. Lack of access control enforcement. Doors, gates, or restricted areas left unsecured or unattended. Which of these is not a security risk? MV safe behavior is to observe and report all unusual, suspicious, or potentially hazardous situations. It is the responsibility of each employee to contribute to a secure work environment, free from threat or danger or risk. Let's review the general transit security concepts you should practice daily. Inspect your bus with security in mind. Be alert for possible security threats. Protect yourself and your customers in the event of a problem. Report suspicious people, activity, packages, or devices. Remember that you are not expected to act as a security guard or police officer. You are expected to get the appropriate help as quickly as you can. Why do you think that security starts at the pre-trip? Security starts at the pre-trip because you are setting the tone for the day. You are completing a thorough pre-trip inspection of your vehicle and will carry forward that attention to detail so you can be aware of your surroundings while you're en route. While we cannot prepare for every exact scenario, these general guidelines and strategies will help you keep your vehicle, route, passengers, and community secure.
Your transit work environment involves a variety of security risks. Working in an open and accessible environment. Handling money or items of value. Working alone. Interacting with customers. Fielding complaints from customers or employees. A proactive approach can help you keep yourself, your vehicle, and your passengers safe. Observe your surroundings. Assess the situation. Respond appropriately. Treat everyone with dignity and respect. Remain alert to warning signs of potentially violent behavior on your vehicle. Keep in mind that not all warning signs indicate potential violence. There is a difference between a person who is difficult and a person that is dangerous. Assess the person's demeanor. Pay attention if someone appears to be intoxicated, angry, or responds angrily when you greet them. To interact successfully with a difficult person, maintain self-control, use a calm voice and body language, avoid confrontation and be patient when interacting. Apply diffusing strategies based on the situation. If the situation becomes dangerous, protect yourself and your passengers, call for immediate assistance, react appropriately, remain calm, and don't panic. Avoid aggressive response, don't try to be a hero. Using situational awareness will prepare you for potential conflicts. Conflict can often be avoided by maintaining a professional demeanor and calm in stressful situations.
Workplace violence, why it matters. According to OSHA, workplace violence is the third leading cause of fatal occupational injuries in the United States. Workplace violence can occur in any industry and any work setting. No job is immune, any worker may be affected. Working with the general public is a higher risk and makes awareness and prevention essential. Early recognition, reporting, and prevention efforts help protect employees and prevent serious incidents. De-escalation is vital for maintaining a safe and controlled environment. It is also essential for preventing tense situations on and around your vehicle and in our operations from escalating into safety risks. From our Platinum Care customer service, let's review attitude, choice, and empathy. Effective techniques to use when de-escalating a situation. What is ACE? ACE stands for attitude, choice, and empathy. 3 simple but powerful behaviors that can shape every customer interaction. It's part of MB's Platinum Connection approach, designed to remind operators that great service isn't just about driving the route, it's about shaping the experience along the way. Attitude. Your attitude sets the tone for every interaction. It's what riders notice first. Your body language, facial expression, and tone all send a message before you even speak. A positive professional attitude can calm tension, build trust, and make customers feel valued. Choice. Every moment offers a choice. How you respond, what words you use, and how you represent yourself and MV. When challenges arise, you can choose professionalism over frustration, calm over reaction, and kindness over confrontation. Empathy. Empathy means understanding what others might be feeling, even if you don't agree or share their experience. It's seeing a situation from the rider's perspective and responding in a way that shows care and respect. Why ACE matters. Using the ACE model helps operators deliver consistent, high-quality service by focusing on what they can control. Improve communication and connection with riders and coworkers. Reduce personal stress and frustration by shifting focus from reaction to response. Next, we'll review some scenarios where you can get some practice using ACE to de-escalate a situation. Fare dispute during rush hour. A passenger boards during rush hour and is told their fare payment is invalid. The passenger raises their voice, accuses the system of being broken, and blocks the front aisle, delaying the bus. How can we use ACE to de-escalate the situation? A, attitude, C, choice, E, empathy. In this situation, attitude can be displayed by remaining calm, using a steady voice, acknowledging their frustration. I can see this as frustrating. Choice could be giving the customer clear options instead of ultimatums. Let's step aside so others can board, and I'll help you figure out the next step. And being empathetic is avoiding arguing about fault or policy details in front of others. The takeaway here is recognizing emotional escalation early and offering simple choices can stop a confrontation before it spreads to the entire bus. Two passengers begin arguing over seating. The exchange becomes louder with personal insults and one passenger standing over the other. How can we use ACE to de-escalate the situation? Using ACE attitude in this situation can be displayed by using clear, neutral language. I need voices lowered so we can continue safely. Empathy is to address the behavior, not blame without taking sides. You can give the rider a choice by requesting one individual change seats or step off briefly if needed. And remember, you can always contact dispatch for support. A passenger appears overwhelmed, pacing the aisles and speaking loudly to themselves. Other riders seem uneasy and keep distance. How can we use ACE to de-escalate the situation? Allow Using ACE attitude in the scenario can be displayed by the driver maintaining a calm tone and avoid sudden commands. Choice would be speaking respectfully. Are you okay? How can I help? Empathy would be to create space by asking others to remain seated. Always remember to follow established procedures if additional support is needed. Calm communication, patience, and space are often the most effective tools when responding to emotional stress. Argument between students escalating on the bus. Two students begin arguing loudly over a seat. Voices rise, name calling starts, and one student stands up while the bus is moving. Attitude in this scenario can be displayed by using a calm, firm voice over the intercom. Everyone stay seated. We're going to settle this calmly. Empathy is addressing the behavior, not the blame. I hear there's a problem. Arguing and standing up is not safe. Choice is giving clear direction. One student moves seats or both return to assigned seats. And always avoid arguing or lecturing while the bus is in motion. A normally quiet student boards the bus, visibly upset, crying and speaking angrily. Mid-route, they begin shouting and hitting the seat. Attitude can be displayed by using a calm voice. I see you're upset. Let's take a moment. Giving empathy avoids embarrassing the student or speaking harshly. The choice is to remain in calm control when an emotional situation arises. De-escalation is a process of reducing the intensity of a conflict or tense situation with communication and behavioral techniques. De-escalation strategies can help you manage conflicts with customers or other employees, diffuse potentially violent situations, manage emotions, and promote safety. 5 purposeful actions you can take to de-escalate a tense situation. Remain calm, actively listen, empathize and acknowledge the issue, offer solutions, help, and choices, maintain positive communication and body language. When working with minors, purposeful actions should also include safety first, staying calm, addressing behaviors, being direct and professional, following district behavior. Lowering organizational risk tolerance is part of MV's overall safety strategic plan for reducing safety events and employee injuries. When we have a low tolerance for risk, we make a conscious choice to think safe and act safe every time. Today, we will develop an increased understanding of how hazard recognition and reporting supports mitigating and eliminating risks. Sometimes the action to take is the simple one, which is when you see something that is a hazard, you have a duty to report it. Hazard recognition and reporting are essential skills that help prevent injuries, property damage, and security incidents. Most serious incidents are small warning signs that were missed, ignored, or not reported. What are some common hazards that might be found at a division? Unsafe conditions, wet floors, blocked exits, malfunctioning equipment, unsafe behaviors, running distractions, ignoring procedures, security concerns, unauthorized access, suspicious activity. We are seeing an increase of this. Be diligent about who is on site and do not allow people to piggyback on your entering the yard or doors. Environmental changes, poor lighting, weather conditions. When you see it, recognize it, report it. Hazard recognition reporting is everyone's responsibility. Every individual plays a role because they are the closest to the hazard when it appears. They see day-to-day changes others may miss. Early reporting allows fast correction. Delays in reporting can turn into a serious incident if left undressed. At MV, we are driven by people who hold safety as a personal core value and choose safety in every decision, action, movement, and interaction. This month, we refreshed our knowledge on how to safely respond to situational and security awareness, help identify potential threats early, allowing for timely action to protect passenger, property, and operations. Changes in behavior, escalating conflicts, or threatening actions can indicate a risk in workplace violence, requiring continued awareness and timely action. Using ACE as a de-escalation technique can help calm tense situations by recognizing early warning signs and responding in a controlled, respectful manner. Hazards may not always be obvious. Having awareness and making timely reporting can be critical to preventing injuries and incidents. When it comes to serious events and triggers, you don't have to determine severity. Your responsibility is to recognize risk and escalate early. Positive recognition and announcements. This is our December Own the Moment, and you can see that we have moved from rank 6 to rank 4 for December, and so we're creeping up on this. So we're 4 out of 29, and it's because of our drivers. And all the numbers you see in green is because you guys are doing a great job. This is the scorecard for the quarter, and on here we are at rank 4 out of 28. Our total score points for the quarter are 450. Again, that's because of our drivers. Thank you, and keep up the good work. To help get points, if you have time and can do just a wheelchair check with a operations manager, for every wheelchair check we get 5 points, and so that adds to the monthly total. This is our customer commendations. If you are on this sheet, these are all compliments called in by the customer. If you are on the sheet, check your mailbox for a certificate, and thank you. Just a reminder of the levels of service. What are the levels of service? Hand to hand, door to door, curb to curb. And how do we make an ADA announcement? We have arrived at the destination. Please remain in your seat so I can escort you off the vehicle. What do you do if someone still gets out of their seat? After you have made the ADA announcement and they still get out of their seat, tap the drive cam. This will capture the ADA announcement. Always escort every rider on the vehicle to the seat and from their seat off the vehicle. You should never stay in the driver's seat while a rider is boarding or deboarding the vehicle. Reminder, every rider gets escorted by the driver to a transfer bus. No rider should be allowed to go to the transfer bus unattended. And this is why the service reminders is important. On January 31st, 2025, Access rider Calvin Brooks was dropped off approximately 2 blocks away from his scheduled destination instead of being escorted to the door as required for door-to-door service. The rider exited the vehicle alone and walked in the wrong direction. The driver did not escort the rider, did not confirm arrival at the destination, and did not observe where the rider was going after exiting the vehicle because they were distracted by a personal conversation with another rider. Approximately 50 minutes later, it was reported that the rider had not arrived at work. After verification, the lost rider protocol was initiated. Law enforcement, King County Metro, MV Transportation Leadership, and frontline staff conducted a large-scale around-the-clock search in freezing conditions. Because of the rider's cognitive and communication limitations, locating him was extremely difficult. Over 50 hours later, Calvin Brooks was found approximately 15 miles from where he was dropped off. He was cold and hungry, but otherwise in good condition, and safely returned to his caregiver. This incident is a stark reminder to all of us of the importance of following these procedures. We get out of the driver's seat to assist every rider with getting to and from the door at all locations, unless the comments indicate otherwise. We check the comments for every rider to ensure we understand how we are serving each individual rider at each location. We drop off every rider at the designated location, no matter how inconvenient it might be to drive around the block. We request assistance when we can't find a location or need help understanding a location's comments. The A or AR code represents hand-to-hand riders, which always means do not leave alone. When in doubt of a policy or procedure, call your base for assistance. We are here to help. Thank you. That concludes the February safety meeting.